The international break is over. Mark Goldbridge is smiling, but he won't be smiling because of the points on the boards. But we've got another week of Premier League predictions and a very special guest. That's correct, a UFC fighter in Muhammed Mokaev. But Dad, why are you upset? It's a great guest.
I'm not happy, Theo, because you get to watch Morocco against Brazil. I get to watch Wealdstone against Oldham Athletic.
Big up all the Moroccans. I know you're here. Hit the like. Every Moroccan hit the like, plus everybody else. Let's go for 20,000 likes.
First of all, I'm going to cry because last week Peen got 4 points. What a great guess. You got 2, I got 2. The scores are on the board.
We're mixing up the guests once again with a UFC fighter. What do you know about MMA, Thog Dad?
Absolutely nothing.
Well, he's the Punisher. He's 10-0. And in his last fight, this happened. Put it on the screen. He nearly got knocked out cold with a knee. He would have broke his leg. Somehow found a way to grapple his way out of it. 4 on the ground and 1 in submission with round 4. That's my poor description of UFC, but he's had some incredible fights. He wants to be the youngest champion in the UFC ever. But how good are they at predictions? Let's get straight into the first game, arguably one of the biggest games of the season. And I'm talking about Manchester City in second against Liverpool in sixth.
Hey, that's your job.
Bit, Theo. I've copied it.
Manchester City against Liverpool in second against sixth. And it's a chance for Man City to narrow the gap to 5 points, isn't it, Theo?
Hit the like if you prefer my intros, by the way. City is still around in the Champions League against Bayern Munich. Surely Klopp and the boys are going to find a way here.
This should be easy, shouldn't it? Because Liverpool's away record is very poor.
Last time this season, they were in a quadruple. And now they're in a nothing.
Can they make the top 4, yes or no?
They can, but they're going to have to beat City here. If they lose, the gap's too much. They're 5 points from top 5, Thog Dad.
Theo, this should be a really good game, but my worry about Liverpool, like I say, is the away form. The last time they went away, it was Bournemouth. They lost. And for that reason, I'm going Man City 2, Liverpool 1.
How can you go from beating United 7-0 to losing to Bournemouth 1? It doesn't make sense. And that's why I don't know which Liverpool turns up. It's in their locker, and with Luis Diaz back, Jota, the rest of them, it's going to be a better chance of doing it than any other season. And I think if they do win, City Premier League title hopes could be out the window. My score prediction, though, I'm backing the favourites. City 2, Liverpool 1. The Haaland injury was a fake. He's going to get a goal and he's going to start.
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, how's the knee coping?
It's getting better. It's getting better. I'm glad I don't need surgery.
Yeah.
It's going to do my rehab and hopefully fight in July again.
I want to see you become the youngest champion in the UFC. That's what we're after, right?
It's my still goal. And I believe I can get it.
It's second place, Manchester City against Liverpool.
We won to City, I think.
Do you think they're going to win the league?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Bournemouth against Fulham, it's 19th against 9th. Bournemouth were humbled at Villa Park. You know what, Theo? If they win this game and results go their way, they can move up 5 places.
It's incredible. It's 2 teams that got promoted from the Championship. Fulham, of course, being first. They've gone on different routes, haven't they?
Fulham have lost the last 2 games, and the talking point, of course, is the FA Cup, isn't it?
My God.
That Mitrovic incident.
How can Fulham win with a red card on Willian, with a red card on Mitro, with a red card on Marco Silva? He won't even be on the touchline. Apparently, the boys have been brought into training early, and they've been training all this week. The new replacements, Solomon, the Israeli on the wing for Willian, striker Carlos Vinicius. These are not bad replacements, by the way, against a Bournemouth who have beaten Liverpool, but before that had very rocky form.
I think home territory, Theo. I think that victory against Liverpool was key. And yes, you're right, those 2 suspensions. I'm going with Bournemouth to win 1-0.
I think Bournemouth will stay up. They've got 6 matches against the bottom half in the last 11. I don't think they'll win here. 1-1 draw. It's 19th Bournemouth. They're fighting relegation against Fulham, who are pushing for Europe. They're like 9th in the table.
I think.
Yeah, Bournemouth. What score?
1-0.
Nottingham Forest against Wolverhampton Wanderers, 16th against 13th. This is a massive relegation tussle. 2 teams who lost last week.
International break allowed Forest a 6-winless streak. Steve Cooper, what would you say to him if you were the board member of Nottingham Forest? You had him right there opposite you. What's he doing wrong?
He hasn't got the players, Theo. I think Nottingham Forest
your
this
fault.
season have over... It's not my fault.
As the board of Nottingham Forest.
You stick with him. There's a long way to go. The trouble is Nottingham Forest recently, 2 points in 5 games. And they're playing a Wolves team. Of course, they just lost to 4-2 to Leeds.
Okay.
But they had more shots, more possession. They were probably the better team on the day.
And they've been charged by the FA for kicking off with the officials. So they won't be too happy. Julian Lopetegui, not exactly too pleased. You see what he said in the interview? He doesn't want an apology. He just wants consistency. That was crazy. They will be fired up. But so will Forest. Some of the worst runs coming into this game in a while, but this is actually a heated rivalry that first played in 1892. What do you know about Forest Wolves from back in the day, Thog Dad?
I know that it's a tasty local derby and it really matters to Wolves. And I've said all along, Theo, that Wolverhampton Wanderers will get enough 1-0 victories to stay up. I think Forest are going down. I think Wolves are going to win this 1-0.
Away?
Away,
With Forest home force. That's very ballsy from you, Thog Dad. You don't often go
only
against
won
the grain.
away twice this season, but I think this is the third win.
Big change after the 4-2 against Leeds at home. It would be a surprise and a half. Just 2 points ahead of the relegation zone, Nottingham Forest. They need the points more than ever, and I think they'll get one. See this being low scoring, 1-1 draw.
Now over to Mukaev in Manchester.
2-1.
2-1 to Forest, yeah?
Yeah.
They're good at home. They always win at home, so good prediction.
Crystal Palace against Leicester City, 12th against 17th. These are the two teams with the worst form in the league. Palace were battered
Not for long,
by
Dad.
Arsenal. Vieira's gone.
Hodgson is going to change that round.
But
he is
not,
the
though.
answer to all their problems.
But he's not, though, is he?
Why would you be so rude to a 75-year-old? Respect your elders.
Yeah, he is actually older than me, which is rare these days. But Theo, Leicester City, despite being where they are, only 8 teams in the league have scored more goals this season.
Palace are 12th. Leicester are 17th, as you mentioned, but only 2 points separate them. Everybody's in a relegation fight this year. Palace lose a game, few teams win, they're right in it.
The difference between these teams for me, Theo, is that Palace can't really buy a goal. I know Zaha can get the occasional goal. They might pick up a penalty somewhere. Leicester on the day can score 2 or 3. Maddison and Barnes firing on all cylinders.
Not scoring many right now. No one is. You know what? I'm cutting all this. 0-0 draw. No one is going to score for 90 minutes in this match. I sense it.
No chance of that, Theo, for me. I think Crystal Palace will get 1. Zaha's going to get 1. Leicester City going to win this one. Away from home, 2-1.
I'm telling you, Hodgson loves a goalless draw on his managerial debut for the second time at the Eagles. Let's find out what happens. Over to Muhammad.
I think Leicester.
Okay, Leicester. What score?
1-0.
1-0 again. Tight win. That'll be good.
Arsenal against Leeds United. It's first against 14th. And these are two teams who scored 4 goals last week. Now, I was at the Arsenal, Theo. They were superb against Crystal Palace. I could mention the whole team. Brilliant. I think they're going to win this league.
And they've had a few good solo efforts over international break with Saka scoring that wonderful goal against Ukraine. That was just special.
I was there, Theo. He is immense this season. He is a
You
truly
can't get your eyes off
incredible player.
Saka. You've watched him in all his recent games.
I've seen him grow over the last 2 or 3 seasons from a promising kid to one of the world's best players. It's as simple as that.
And does he deserve a Premier League title? Because they are now on 22 wins confirmed, which is more wins and more points at this point in their season compared to their Invincibles. Arsenal Invincibles were behind this point at this point. It's crazy.
But they're playing a Leeds United team who are confident. Of all the teams in the bottom 9, they've got the best form over the last 5 games.
Yeah, scored
this is
4
a potential
goals.
banana skin, isn't it?
4 goals away from home in their last game. How many can they score here? But they have injury doubts. Max Wober got injured for Austria, I believe, and Wilfried Gnonto for Italy. I'm going to go Gunners 2, Yorkshire Boys 0. Sorry.
I see more goals here, Theo. I think it's going to be Arsenal 3, Leeds United 1.
Thought so. Over to Mukaev. Arsenal against Leeds. Top of the league Arsenal against 14th Leeds.
Arsenal.
Yeah? What score?
3-0.
3-0. Masterclass, yeah?
Tony Bloom against Matthew Benham, 7th against 8th. What are the teams? Oh yeah, Brighton and Hove Albion against Brentford. It's the battle of the owners. They hate each other there. Now Brighton actually, 3 games in hand over Tottenham Hotspur. Can they make the Champions League?
Oh, look, first of all, there's bonuses in this game. Here's a little fact for you about Brentford Brighton. I should probably make a short on it. If you don't subscribe to my shorts, they are going mad. 35 million views a month at the moment. The Moneyball Derby is where the owners give bonuses to the players from winning this game. I swear to God, the players get paid almost double when they win this match. It's crazy how much it means to Tony Bloom and Matthew Benham. Do you know why they hate each other?
They used to work with each other. Matthew Benham used to work for Tony Bloom, and then there was a lawsuit. Can't say too much. They're not the best of friends.
Yeah, you can imagine in the workplace they fell out. You know, you fall out your mates at school. It's kind of like that in the business world. And then you're playing against them in the Premier League. It doesn't get bigger than this. Tony Bloom was at Cheltenham winning bets. There's bigger bets on the line for this one. And I honestly think Brighton come into it as favourites.
Yes.
Now, both of them are going for Europe. Brighton have 2 options to go into Europe because if they win the FA Cup final, they get Europe already. I don't need to list the Brighton boys. They are on fire. Solly March scored the winner against Palace. Beating them at home must have been nice too.
Very lovely, Theo. But Brentford, they're good at taking points at places like this, Theo. I think this is going to be very, very tight. I'm going for a 1-1 draw. 1
loss in the league since the start of the year in 13 games for Brighton. But let's respect Brentford because when they come to the Amex, they can sneak a 1-0. And they've done that twice in their last 4 visits to this stadium. Brighton 2, Brentford 1. And there's going to be some late scenes. I feel it. Over to Muhammad. this is going to be a mental one, right? They need that because they're fighting. All right.
I'm going to Wigan match this Saturday as well.
Chelsea against Aston Villa, 10th against 11th.
Yes.
This is just a mid-table clash, isn't it, Theo? Now, Chelsea last week, finding a bit of form, but could only draw with Everton.
It's poor, that Everton game, to concede to Sims in the fashion that they did. They'll be thankful, really, that they had an international break to reflect on what went wrong. They've actually been on a pretty good unbeaten streak of about 6 games. João Felix is starting to connect, getting goals. They're pushing forward in the Champions League. Surely they turn around that poor draw with a win here.
I think they could. Now, Havertz is also looking like a good player.
Yeah.
Aston Villa, Theo, 10 points in the last 4 games. This could be very, very close. I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea.
Oh, I just don't know who turns up. I mean, historically, in the last 11 matches they've faced against each other, Chelsea have won 9 of them, which is quite dominant. I'm going to back Chelsea to win this, low scoring. 1-0, and I just sense an Enzo Fernandez screamer.
Chelsea.
Yeah.
2-0.
West Ham United against Southampton, 18th against 20th, and relegation fights don't come much bigger than this.
Nope.
Now, West Ham, there's been a few sparks recently, but it's not really taken off this season, has it?
David Moyes, I think he'll leave. But they'll do it at a respectable time because he's been a solid manager. People are not going to fall for the Moyes out claims. It's too late, to be honest, to sack a manager. Southampton did it very late with Nathan Jones, but it had to be done. Now, with 11 games left, who can come in and change a season? It doesn't get easier than this. You're playing 20th at home. Surely West Ham win this.
They should, Theo, but look what Southampton did last week. They were 3-1 down to Spurs. They kept fighting till the last minute. James Ward-Prowse with a late equaliser.
That makes my prediction very hard.
Yeah,
and
me
James
too.
Ward-Prowse loves a trip to London as well. I think he's scored on 2 occasions at London away games.
But it's the Olympic Stadium. That's the difference for me. I'm thinking 2-1 to West Ham.
2-1 to West Ham?
Yes.
Really? I think Southampton are going to lose. Also agree. 2-1 to West Ham. I was trying to mug you off there. They just beat Larnaca 4-0 at home. If they can replicate that home form that they do in Europe to the Premier League, I think they'll score a few. Jared Bowen to score the winner. West Ham, Southampton.
West Ham.
Score?
1-0.
1-0. I like that. You're going for some low predictions.
I'm not risking.
Newcastle United against Manchester United, 5th against 3rd. This has huge significance for next season's Champions League, doesn't it, Theo? Now, Newcastle got that late victory last week. Alexander Isak, good player.
3 points goal difference in the table between the two, and that just extends your point of how important the Champions League spots are for next year. If the Geordies can get a win here, they go above United on goal difference. Let's not forget Ten Hag is on pretty bad form after losing 7-0 and then drawing at home to Southampton goalless.
Manchester United are very hard to predict this season.
Yeah.
Obviously, Marcus Rashford is having a good one, but are going to a very difficult place. Now, Newcastle have only lost 3 times this season, drawn 11 admittedly.
Yeah.
Their defence is the best in the league, so it could be a tight one. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
A 1-0 is very likely, depending on how much is going on in the Premier League table. However, I just think the Geordies will find a way. In front of their fans, this could be the biggest win of the season. Newcastle 2, United 1.
Ooh.
I'm saying Manchester United come out short, and people will roast me in the comments. Come for me. But all I'm going to ask you to do is comment your own prediction and then hit the like button.
Man United 2-1.
Yeah? Who's gonna score for United? You don't think so?
Maybe Rashford.
Yeah, he's a good player. Who's your favourite United player?
Now, at the moment, I don't have any, but used to be Rooney is my favorite.
Everton in 15th against Tottenham Hotspur in 4th. 2 teams at different ends of the table, but they've both conceded 40 goals, and they both drew last week. What is going to happen here?
Sean Dyche has had more time to train with the boys now.
Yes.
He's going to have worked his tactic. I'm sure he's going to score a proper Brexit goal where he just lumps it up. Tarkowski nods it down. Someone gets on the end of it. But I still think Spurs might be more motivated now that Conte's been sacked. And for that reason, I don't think Everton will win here. I originally was going to say an Everton win. I think if Conte kept his job, the Toffees would have won.
I think there might be a bounce back under the assistant manager team, Theo. I really do. There'll be no repeat of the Southampton game where Spurs tried to defend. 2 goals ahead against the bottom team. You're trying to defend. I think this is going to be a close one. Everton are different under Sean Dyche, but I'm going to go 1-1.
Do you think Richarlison's going to try and score own goals?
Naughty.
Surely.
I hope he plays. Is he going to start?
He's going to want Everton to win. He barely gets to the Tottenham team. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. That's the same as you. I can't see Spurs running away with it. Kane and Son are pretty special, and congratulations to Kane on breaking the all-time record for England, and I'm sure he's going to have an eye on the Premier League record soon too.
I think Everton 2-0.
Oh, I like that. You're going to have a lot of Everton fans follow you on Instagram now.
I have a good driver. He's a big fan of Everton.
Yeah. Did he say
2-0?
Yeah.
I couldn't say any other numbers because he kicked me out.
Ask the driver who's going to score.
Who's going to score? Ellis Sims.
The striker.
Who? Nana.
Oh, Nana, I like that. Tell him that's a good prediction.
Good prediction.
Somebody hasn't subscribed to our new channel, Thogden Reacts.
Why haven't you subscribed, you mug?
We're doing have to get it to 100,000.
Daily content. Every day we're doing a new topic.
Oh, they're starting to...
I've just done my top 5 loudest clubs I've ever watched. So if
Wow.
you're interested in that, go click on it now.
Leeds United 2, Nottingham Forest 1.
Leeds 1-0 win.
Wow. Bournemouth 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 2, a battle of the South Coast.
Bournemouth 0, Brighton 2.
Oh, you're being tactical, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Leicester City 2, Aston Villa 2 in a Midlands derby.
Oh, another Midlands derby. We've seen Wolves against Forest this week, and now Leicester against Villa. I'm going to go Leicester 2, Aston Villa 1.
Chelsea 2, Liverpool 1.
1-1.
Yeah, that's probably sensible. West Ham United 1 and Newcastle United 1.
West Ham 0, Newcastle 1.
Manchester United 2, Brentford 1. Sorry, Benham.
Yeah, United 2, Brentford 0. Sorry, Benham. I'm ready for you to be the champion, okay?
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, big up. And I'm going to bring Hasbullah to your next fight. Trust me, bro. I'm going to take him. We didn't get Mukaev on for the double game weeks because the connection was rubbish in the back of his car, and I do apologise for that. The most liked response with the 6 double game weeks will be his predictions. Get in the comments and see you later.